President Trump says he plans to be at the second presidential debate next week in Miami. That will come just 2 weeks after the president first started showing symptoms of COVID-19. The CDC says people can still infect others up to 20 days after they first start feeling sick. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden responded saying there shouldn't be a debate if the president remains positive. This all comes as another Trump aide tested positive for COVID-19. The Trump administration confirmed Stephen Miller is now battling the virus. This gives you just a snapshot of Republican lawmakers and the people in the president's inner circle now infected. The White House says staff now wear full personal protective equipment. Staffers are also tested daily if they're in contact with the first family.